Okay, this is a brand new keyboard. We're gonna put it.
Tech Access. Helping build Kansas City's digital skills since 2016. Tech Access is a free service provided by the Kansas City Public Library to help patrons learn how to use technology and other digital tools in their day-to-day lives.
Containers for your garden. Take two. The ding was my microwave. I'm glad it went off, had something in it. Anyway, this is the second take. The first one I didn't have a very good headshot. It had just my chin. Chin wasn't looking very good. So on this one, I went and put a little conditioner on it and tried to make it look a little bit better. Some of these I can edit out. Do my thumbs up. If you like the content, please hit the thumbs up. And if you really like it, hit subscribe and you'll be notified every time I load new content. I'm going to try to do something daily. If not daily, then every other day and at least once a week. I've been commissioned to do some digital creation. And I'll show you how, on another video, how you edit out all these blurps and bleeps that I got in here. So this is live coming off my phone. I'm going to take the recording and then make another training class on how to edit video. You can do this with your phone. Everybody's using the TikTok, but you can go in and edit the content before you upload it. It doesn't have to always be full of the bleeps and blurps if you choose not to. So anyway, first one took me 40 minutes. I'm gonna see if I can skim through this real fast, cut the time down, see if I've got a good, oh, what's the little thing? There you go, headshot. So a lot of this I'm just ad-libbing. Again, I would probably use all this footage in another training class using a video editor or multiple video editors. So anyway, I love to garden. Gardening is a way for me to relax and me personally, I feel like I see miracles every day when I see my seeds that I put in the dirt poke through the dirt. And I wonder who tells the roots to go down and who tells the leaves to go up. It's a miracle. It's a miracle. And on another training class, great book, one word that'll change your life. I'm giving a lot of plugs here before I even get started, and I'll use these plugs later. One word that will change your life on Hoopla, courtesy of KansasCityPublicLibrary.org. Again, this is Tech Access. Tech Access, where we learn, partner, and volunteer. You can find us at www.kcpltechaccess.org. My name is Stephen James Clark, and today I'm going to show you some of the things that I use to get my garden started, that I don't have to spend a lot of money and time on buying planters and pots and things like that. So the first thing I'm going to do is show you how I use the water bottle. The water bottle, my bucket of tricks. And my Tech Access plug. Also visit AmeriCorps for volunteering. Great information. Ad-libbing a lot. I'm going to edit some of this out with a video editing tool. May let the whole thing just go as it comes to me. But yeah, AmeriCorps Vista program, excellent if you're looking to volunteer and get some education as you go. Anyway, back to the program at hand. Here is a regular drinking bottle. This is the drinking bottle that I use on a regular basis. I think I get like 24 in a case. So that means I can make 24 planters. This is what I start with, and this is what you end up with. You have a 2-piece self-wicking. That means the water is absorbed through the baker's yarn. Baker's yarn is what they use in wrapping up the poultry meats and things like that. So it's food gradable as far as soaking up your water. The bottom is where you fill the reservoir with water. Doesn't matter how high you fill it. When you put the top piece in, any excess will float out the sides. We got to get some neem oil. I have to do something on that. The aphids will, yeah. And this is what you end up with. I suggest something easy. This here is a mother-in-law's tongue. One of the easiest plants that you'll ever grow. I'm not big on plants and flowers yet. I'm going to try to expand this year. I start with something easy. The bell peppers you get out the local grocery store, full of seeds. You take those seeds. Good way to propagate them, they say, is to soak them in a glass of water, and the ones that go down to the bottom will probably propagate, and definitely faster than the ones that are not soaked. These are some tomato seeds. This is was it a big beefy tomato I bought from the local grocery store, and you slice up the tomatoes. Those seeds, those little seeds are right there in the gel part of it. Lay it on a tissue to absorb all the moisture out of it. I decided to take mine and put them in the glass, and they all sunk for this demonstration. So you don't have to, but they say it helps with the germination process. The mother-in-law's tongue, been growing these for years. It's just as easy as taking a snip and sticking it down in the dirt, and then just wait for it to grow. You keep an eye on your water level. If it's empty, of course, fill it back up again. It just snaps apart. You fill up your water. Try not to use just straight tap water. If you see behind me, I've got some old glass bottles that a neighbor would bring me for free. I fill them up with water, put the cap back on, and I use them as I need them. But I've always got some good chlorine-free water. I've got another garden in another room. You can use the aerator that you use in a fish tank with the air bubbler. As long as you got bubbles, it's putting oxygen into the water, which is good as well, even probably more so. But this is your finished product. Basically, all you do is, I've got some, I call them child-proof, but you still have scissors, so you take that in effect. But the little pink handle, they can't cut anything. They may mangle or maul you, for the most part. And like I said, I'm ad-libbing this. I'm gonna, I may pause so I can find a spot to oh, that's funny, so that I can edit the video virtually cut out parts of the video. That is neat. That was one of my first jobs, actually, at the Plaza Library. I worked as a usher, cashier, usher, head usher, and then I would run the films and even edit the film reels. If it stopped, it would burn a hole in it because that's how bright the light was. And you turn off the light and pull out a splice kit. Anyway, that's about editing. I may get into that more when I use this video in its entirety and show you how I clipped out the bad parts, the blurps and everything else. How to put a transition in, how to pick it back up and get to like you never fell off. That is something that is real, takes a time to develop. Is newscasters. They broadcast live, and when you do it every day, it becomes easier and easier to perform. So I'm getting more comfortable now. I said it's been close to a decade, or not longer, since I've done some content. There we go. Digital content is what they're calling it now. Now, if I take a pause, it's going to be so that I can do a transition and take out some of the stuff that I don't want. But back to the bottle. This here is the bottle. I like to keep the cap on while it's full of air, and you get your finger, or you get your hole in there. I use my finger as a gauge. Not too big of a hole, but big enough so that I can get my yarn threaded through. And with the air, it's easier. So now I got my hole in there. We take off the excess paper. No. I believe when I made my first template, I used that paper as a guide. And sometime today, well, before poking a hole in it, I'm going to do some editing. And like I said, you get 24 of these out of the case. 24 of these. You can practice with a few. There's no right, there's no wrong way to do it. This is what you end up with. And one, two, you can hold it up and trim it out. Pieces that'll stop it from splitting even further is what I found out. Bottom. Top looks good. Got my hole in there. You get your piece of this Baker yarn. And there's no exact science to it. Again, it's a self-wicking. Meaning that once it touches the water wicks itself up to the bottom. The root of the plants can get some moisture. And it saves you from having to water over the top of the soil. Some plants are not too big on that. This way it comes up from the bottom stays moist, the roots go down, the leaves go up. Miracle. Miracle, miracle, miracle. Miracles every day is what I say. That reminds me of a book I'm going to share with you on a later date. On the library's Hoopla. Hoopla is where you can get videos, audiobooks, things of that nature. But there's one that I'm going to do a teaching or a video on the one word that will change your life. Excellent, excellent. Mine for this year is miracles. Miracles. Miracles every day. There's a miracle. The way they can spin this plastic and make it into a bottle and put water in it, and we go and purchase it instead of turning on the faucet. Anywho, now, so there's what you come up with. And yeah, using that, it pops in there. It pops in there. I think I had a problem with them tipping over. Right there at the bottom of that label is the excellent. Again, this is what you end up with. And yes, that is why I did it, because it pops in. Voila, free. You get the water, is what you have to pay for. And instead of throwing the plastic away, you know that they say the plastic has it doesn't it's not biodegradable. So if I keep all my water bottles and turn them into planters, I think I'm doing the ecosystem a justice. It's mine. I'm keeping it. Finished product. And I'll do this pause so that I can go to the next transition of the video and take 2. And now that I've shown you the water bottle version of a planter, it's free. The next one is the 2-liter version. In my bucket of goodies, let's pull out the 2-liter. And that's just my brand of choice. Not sure if I'm showing my age or not. Probably by the beard, of course. But this is a 2-liter. The 2-liter version, you can do it in any 2-liter. I've got this kind. I've got a, somewhere it's a, here's the finished version. And again, you just play with them. This is a Coca-Cola version. Oh, they're about the same height. They're about the same height. But the thing is, I find a height that I'm comfortable with. And let's take this apart. That's a good fit. And suction. There again, self-wicking. Barber. Oh, get out of here. Baker's yarn. Baker's yarn, self-wicking. This is the top, this is the bottom. The reservoir is filled with water. This is where you put your soil, nutrients. The plant gets nutrients from the bottom up. And again, when you finish the bottle, there's no right or wrong way to do it. But once you get one, I use it as a stencil. Oh, I just happen to like that height. I put my new one up to it. And we make an incision. And as an adult, I would suggest you make the incision if you're doing this with kids, grandkids, or anyone that is not familiar. Oh, that doesn't know the dangers of a blade that sharp. Use these little scissors here. You can mangle your finger, but you sure couldn't cut it off in the hole. Again, I said I like to make that while it's full of air. And again, I use my finger as a gauge. Frame it out real good. decent. There's no right way, there's no wrong way. Let's go find the incision. So, no right way, no wrong way, just follow along. After you do it half a dozen or so, you'll become a little more proficient. Bottom half, top half. Again, there's no right way, there's no wrong way. I take the paper off because the sun shines through the clear plastic and it can get to the roots. Makes for a more healthier plant. Sometimes it doesn't all come off. Where it's sealed together. Again, there's no right or wrong way. Well, sometime today. Again, I'm doing this all live. I'm going to edit it, make it real nice and pretty. But again, I may use this all unedited bits and pieces in a video editing tutorial. And 9 times out of 10 it takes 1 second. But I guess since I'm shooting video, it wants to be difficult. Now, I hold that up and it's kind of high on one side. So we're going to go being left-handed doesn't always match up either. There we go, lefty. There we go. And it goes pretty smooth once you get it going. There you go. I can live with that. And it helps to keep and it helps to keep it from splitting. Bottom half, top half. Let's see if we can do it again. Well, there we go. Yeah. I said I haven't made any. This is the first time I've made these, maybe in a year or so. When COVID came out and everybody was stuck in the house, having cabin fever. This is what I did. This is what you're going to end up with. I'm trying to speed through this. And we'll complete this out at a later date. Okay. And same thing. It's just a little bigger. Your plant's going to get fuller. You can transfer from this to this. And then from this to an even larger size pot, which is what I'm going to show you next. Again, there's no right way, there's no wrong way. With these water bottle, it has a little lip on it, so I like the way when I put it together, it sucks in and it's, you know, well, hey. I bet we edit that one out. Anyway, it doesn't matter. There is no right way, there is no wrong way. Again, I'm doing this live. And this is just what I like to do in my spare time, is gardening. I'll do some other features later. Yikes. Let's get that out the way. This is the next size up. Same thing. Get you something easy. I've grown just about everything, or have tried. But I start with something easy first. Tomatoes, you can go to the Home Depot, any garden center. A lot of garden centers, they have the starter plants for you already. Again, I'm good at the vegetables, but this year I think I want to try some flowers. Make some flower beds along with the vegetables that I'm already pretty keen. This is the finished product. And let's get this one out the way. And then here where I'll probably do a transition or something and then get to the last one, and then we'll say, okay, so now that I've shown you the first two containers, the water bottle and the 2 liter, last but not least is what I call my self-steeping 5-gallon container. And this is what we have here. And I already have it pre-made. What we have is a 5-gallon bucket. 5-gallon bucket that's self-steeped or self-steeping. Means that your plants, you don't have to always you don't have to always worry about watering the plant, or not watering enough. Can't overwater it, but if you forget to, it's self-watering. This is my final flowering stage. The other one's a vegetation stage when it's growing up. My bell peppers, I'll start in the water bottles, the tomatoes, my seedlings, those things. And then I'll go to the 2 liter, and then I'll exchange them out for the 5-gallon bucket. The 5-gallon bucket, I seen this maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and I just wanted to share it again because I've had plenty of success with it. These are not just any old kind of 5-gallon bucket. If you go to Home Depot, I think they want, I don't know, maybe $5 or $6 bucks for the Homer bucket, and that was too costly. But you know it's a good bucket because it's clean and hadn't had anything in it. What I ended up doing was I went to my local bakery, and introduced myself, and all of the used icing, filled with icing buckets. And at first they would sell them to me for like 50 cents a bucket, and I would take as many as they could use, or ask them if they would set them aside. Of course, not going to the grocery store every single day, but maybe once or twice a week. Anyway, that's how I got started. With 3, 4, 5 buckets, 4 buckets, and I had 2 tomatoes, 2 bell peppers, maybe 6, and the red chilies are easy to grow. So that's one source. Another shout out to the Jimmy John's in Liberty, Missouri. I have an old Marine buddy that works there, and these are pickle jars. They go through about 4 or 5 pickle jars a day. So every chance I get, I shoot him a text and tell him buckets, buckets, buckets. So those are just a couple of resources for the bucket. Now the way that you set those up is I'll tip this forward. And if you look in the bottom of that bucket, beneath the soil, you can see cans. And all I did was just take some used aluminum cans, soda pop, a cold beer, whatever it is that's your choice. Some of the stuff that I use, this is an old chess set that I'm going to make out of an old aluminum can. But the thing is, on the can itself, let's take one out. And the bottom of the hole, you want at the bottom of the bucket, and you don't want to make a hole in the top because that will allow the dirt to seep in. So on the side, and it's easier, you can use water bottles. I've used water bottles. You just want a hole on the side and the hole in the bottom, and then you stuff it in the bottom until they all stand up straight. I like using the cans, as I know it takes exactly 13 cans, and now I know I can take 13 cans in each of my containers. I've got about 30 of these puppies that I use in rotation. Okay, so then once you get your bottom lined up with the cans, as you see, then you add your dirt. But the reason this is beneficial is because your cans maybe come up to here, and you don't have to waste all of your dirt, all of your soil in one bucket, and it makes it extremely heavy when it's all soil from top to bottom as well. Handle or no handle, it's a heavy bucket to say the least. Now, when you fill it up with the cans, your soil will seep down in there, and that's kind of a wicking itself, because as long as the soil is moist, your roots from your plant can get down in there and get nutrients, water. Now, what you do is you find you a spot, and on this one, I came in too high. You get you a drill bit. This one here has got the pointed end, but they've got some that are more rounded if you're working with kids and things of that nature. But you want to come up maybe 2 inches or so. If you notice the clay pots, they've got the pot that goes down into the little tray. The tray is probably a couple of inches at best. And you don't want that much standing water. If you make a mistake, doesn't matter. There's no wrong way. There's no wrong way to do it. Come down. They're just going to let it air out a little bit faster. But if you put too much water in, say you're watering the plant and you got a little happy with the water, if it gets above this point here, it's going to automatically seep out any excess water, so that you're not doing any damage to your roots. And it's really just as simple as that. Make a hole, and that allows water to escape. This one was too high. I didn't want 4 inches of water standing there. And just from my last year's growth, you'll learn. I was thinking, I want to put it up a little high, so I got a nice amount of water, and then that water sits there and it gets stale, and it's not helping. Just a couple of inches. Allows the plant to absorb it back in. A nice healthy plant. That's enough room. You're not wasting your nutrients, and you're not having the roots sit in a lot of water. Again, I'm doing this whole thing live. This is my second take on it. I may use this whole video in another training tool and show you how to edit out the bleeps and the blurps and clean it up, things of that nature. So again, this here is the 5-gallon bucket. I showed you the 2-liter version. And then also the water bottle version. Now that we've got all of that, top it off with dirt. You got your plants growing. You go to your local herbal tea store, and this is just a linen cloth tea bag used for tea. And what I use these for is you can make a compost tea. Compost tea for spraying your plants on the top side. On the top side, even though you've got the watering system, the compost tea is a way to get nutrients to them from the leaves and a good mist. The tea bag, you take the tea bag and a scoop. You can get your earthworm castings. This was another version of earthworm castings that I used. Actually, I ran out. I used it all. So what I do is you take the tea bag and you fill it up with your castings. Take your tea bag, and you can drop it down into the container of water that's here, and then just put the lid back on and let it sit there and soak. And this the tea bag keeps all the castings from getting in the water, so that you can get a good solution in your bottle. Is how I do it. If you've got any other ideas, feel free to share it. If you felt like this information was useful, hit the like button. And if you really feeling like this helped, hit the subscribe button, and it'll keep you in tune with the new content. I'm going to start creating a lot of content. It's going to cover a lot of different things. So again, this is just a live shooting from my phone. I'm going to show you later on in some classes or some training classes how to take that video and edit it and make it real crisp. Remove, add transitions, things of that nature. I may use several different. They've got Canva. They've got one I've been using lately, Clipchamp. A lot of different ones out there. I'm going to use the OSB. There's another one. Anywho, again, thanks for tuning in. This was just my little motivational for gardeners and how easy it is to, you can get a 24 planters up in the next bottled water. Just like that. So, anywho, thanks again for tuning in. My name is Stephen James Clark, and this is brought to you courtesy of Kansas City Public Library Tech Access. You can reach us at www.kcpltechaccess.org. Again, my name is Stephen Clark, signing out. Thank you. Okay, this is a brand new keyboard. We're gonna put
Tech Access. Helping build Kansas City's digital skills since 2016. Tech Access is a free service provided by the Kansas City Public Library to help patrons learn how to use technology and other digital tools in their day-to-day lives.